there, Booktube. Welcome back to my channel. It is day 5 of the reading rush. This morning I have a doctor's appointment, so I'm gonna be unavailable for most of the morning. I have to go get some tests done, check up stuff. But in the evening I'm gonna try to do some kind of a recap. I'm not gonna do a regular Friday Reads video today, but I will try to do some kind of, I don't know what I'll do. We're gonna see how the day shakes out. This is the book I'm taking with me today. I'm hoping to get some of it read while I'm waiting for the doctor. Although, let me think about this. Reading a lot in the waiting room means that I have a long wait to see the doctor. Whereas not having to wait for the doctor means I don't get much read. So, what do I want? What do I want? Know you as Mr. Brown.
Mr. Brown, sorry. Otherwise known as Mr. Brown. Hope everybody has a good weekend. Get some books read. Do it all like you're supposed to do it. This is Mr. Brown signing off.
Today's Instagram challenge is to take a picture of your current read along with your fuel. So I just got back home. I'm about to eat some fruit. So let's see if we can take a picture of my fruit plate with my book. I'm going to try to work on some aesthetics today. So this is my current read. This is my fruit plate with my fork, and maybe you put this as like some bonbons. That could be my picture, right? We just got back home from doing some errands, and now I need to film a couple of videos. I need to film my Booktube prize judging wrap-up. Hey there, Booktube, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about the Booktube prize. I just got done filming my video explaining how I ranked the books for the semi-final round of the Booktube prize that I was judging. So I'm gonna have to edit that and post it sometime over the weekend. I don't know when that will go up yet. And I'm gonna go get ready for dinner. Another day, another stir fry. Today we have some cauliflower, some broccoli, some string beans, some mushrooms, some bell peppers. There's a little onion in here as well. And of course I'm going to drizzle on some soy sauce for some flavor. Dinner is served. It's Friday afternoon, which is when I usually film a Friday Reads video and give a little recap of my reading since the past Friday. Today I'm not going to do a traditional Friday Reads video for two reasons. Number one, because I'm doing daily vlogs, and most of the books that I've read between Friday and now I've told you about, either because I was doing 24 and 48 readathon or the reading rush readathon. The other reason is that 3 of the books that I've read in the past week were for judging the Booktube prize, and I wasn't really talking about those, but now that I've filmed and I'm going to be posting my Booktube prize judging video, that video is going to come live before this video does. So I thought I'll give a little recap. So I'll just share very briefly the 5 books that I've finished since my last Friday Reads video. So over the weekend, I tried to participate in 24 and 48 readathon. I read 2 books. The first one that I finished was The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang. And this one was a light, easy read, but it had a lot of graphic sexual content. So I feel like this book should be rated R. It was a spin on the Pretty Woman story, Reverse Gender. Here we had an autistic woman who wanted to have relationships, and so she hired a male escort to teach her about sexual relations, and then to teach her about relationships by being her practice boyfriend for some time. But of course, as the story develops, even though this is a relationship that begins as a business arrangement, their feelings for each other also grow. I like some things about this. I was a little perplexed on how to deal with the graphic content, so I gave this maybe a 3-star rating just because I wasn't prepared for the content. I usually don't know what books are about before I read them. The other book that I finished for the 24 and 48 readathon was Fruit of the Drunken Tree by Ingrid Rojas Contreras. I was reading this one to judge the Booktube prize, so I didn't talk about it in my readathon discussion. And I also really didn't discuss the book so much in my Booktube prize judging video, so I'll tell you here. I like some things about this book, but I didn't really feel like it was high literary content. It felt a lot like a memoir. It was based on the author's real life experience growing up in Colombia. She and her sister Well, I don't know how much of the story is true, so let me tell you about the plot of the novel. It's about these two sisters who are children. They're growing up in a well-to-do family. Their family hires a teenage girl to be a maid, a girl from a poor neighborhood. And because she has a lot of freedom, the fact that she's able to move around unrestricted, even during this period of violence and unrest and fear, these two girls, especially the female narrator, she idolizes this maid, and she covers for her even when the maid oversteps the boundaries that she's supposed to have in the household. And the story unfolds as the Pablo Escobar story is unfolding. So there's the mirroring of these two experiences of hiding who you really are from the people around you. And I don't know how much else to say about this book. I like some things about this book. I didn't love it. I gave this somewhere between a 3.5 to 4-star rating. The next book that I finished was The Tesla Legacy by K.K. Perez. This is young adult science fiction fantasy recommended to me by Bethany from Beautifully Bookish Bethany. I asked her about a book where there was a human character who had superhuman powers. She recommended a few books, but I chose this one because the character was a young girl dealing with science and technology, which is something I'm interested in. So I liked this book. I love the fact that the author included a lot of science and literary elements and presented it in a way that you could learn things from this book, but also enjoy the book even if you weren't necessarily of a scientific bend. The story is about a teenage girl who has been suffering from seizures her whole life, and when she's 18 years old, she discovers that she has a power. I really admire the way the author led up to the main character's powers, and so I enjoyed the book even if a lot of it was unbelievable, but I gave it a high rating anyway. The next book that I finished was The Silence of the Girls by Pat Barker. This one again was on my Booktube prize judging list. And this one was a retelling of the myth of Achilles fighting in the Trojan War and getting a young woman as his concubine because he has raised her village and killed the men in her family and all the men in her town. And although she becomes a slave in his home, kind of a sex slave, she develops feelings for him, and the book is about the silencing of the women, whether they silence themselves or whether they are silenced by external circumstances, how these women, even after enduring traumatic losses, how they're able to turn around and view their captors and even develop feelings for them. I like some things about this book. I thought the story was very unbelievable, but I like the way it was written anyway. I mean, it was part of a myth and a legend, so I guess we're not supposed to really believe. I liked it anyway. And the last book that I've finished so far this week was Ladder to the Sky by John Boyne, which is about a young man who is in his early 20s. When we meet him, he is desirous of a career as a novelist, but he has actually no imagination, so he befriends people and gets them to reveal their stories by engaging in relationships with them and eventually stealing their stories and writing novels about them. So it opens the question about who does the story belong to, and whether the person who has told their story to someone and they've written it down, whether they have a right to really pursue that author and really to be upset with what the author or novelist does with their story. I liked a lot of things about this story, but man, this character was terrible. And so those are all the books. Those are the 5 books that I've finished since my last Friday Reads video. I have a lot of books that I am in the process of reading. I'm reading this history book called A Little History of the World. I am at chapter 18. I have a few chapters. I have 22 chapters to read before the end of that book. So I don't know if I'll be able to finish that before the end of the week. I'm also in the middle of reading, well, not middle. I started reading Schindler's Ark. I don't know how far I'm going to get before the end of the week. And I'm also trying to read Lily and the Octopus by Stephen Rowley. So hopefully I will finish at least one of those books before the end of the readathon, and it will appear in my next vlog. I'm going to wrap up this Friday Reads recap part of the vlog because, as you can tell, I'm sweating and I need to go someplace where I can turn the AC or the fan up high, higher than I could while I'm filming this video. Good morning. It's Saturday morning. It's just about 7 o'clock. I just got up, gonna get ready for church. First, I have to make a vegetable plate for potluck. I don't like my vegetables to be soggy, so I could have done this yesterday, but I prefer to do it kind of fresh. So I'm gonna do that, then we're gonna have breakfast, get ready, and go to church. There won't be a lot of reading today, that's for sure, and I'm not sure what time we'll get home, but probably won't start reading until maybe about 9 o'clock. So pause for reading activities. Other things gonna be happening starting now. So I'm gonna make a little bit of a vegetable medley, but first I gotta start preparing these veggies. This is the cauliflower all cut up in florets and broccoli florets ready to be soaked. And now we've got our beans ready. So these two words. Okay, green beans done, and now on to carrots. The carrots are freshly peeled and washed and are ready to be sliced. So we're almost done cutting up vegetables. Broccoli soaking, cauliflower soaking, green beans soaking, cabbage soaking, carrot slices, and now I just need to cut up some peppers and some onions and do my little stir fry. This is the finished product. One container and another container. These are the steamed vegetables that I'm bringing to today's potluck. I used to make things like mac and cheese and potato salad with lots of mayonnaise, but I'm trying to be a little bit healthier this summer. This morning for breakfast, I'm having some avocado toast. This is on cinnamon raisin bread because I really like the sweet. For cereal, I have some honey bunches of oats, I think, with ground up walnuts and dried cranberries, and my fruit plate with cherries and a peach. Yum, yum, yum.
No more tears, never cry again. All praises to the great I am. We will live in the light of the risen Lamb.
We just got in from church. We had a really long day, and I completely forgot that I was supposed to be vlogging, so I have almost no footage of the day, but it's okay. I'm sure you will understand. I'm gonna get some reading in before I go to bed because no reading happened otherwise today. I'm gonna read Lily and the Octopus by Stephen Rowley. I think it's gonna be light enough that I can get a few chapters in before I fall asleep. So I'm gonna read this one until I fall asleep. So I'll tell you about it in my vlog tomorrow. Today's Instagram challenge was to take a picture of a book that was set in a different country from your own. Bonus points, I don't know how bonus points are being calculated, but bonus points if the book is not set in the United States or the United Kingdom. And I chose Love from A to Z by S.K.L.E. This I had on my TBR as my 7th book, just in case I'd read all the others and met all the other challenges. I don't think I'm going to read this one before reading rush is over, but this book is set in Qatar, so I took a picture of this one. I have lots of books around that are set in lots of other countries because I read pretty widely from countries outside of the United States and the United Kingdom, but I chose this one because it was on my TBR and I love the cover. So that's today's Instagram challenge picture here. And so we're going to close out this vlog this way. Today's video features clips from Reading Rush Day 5 and Reading Rush Day 6. I'll be back tomorrow with Reading Rush Day 7, and I hope you'll join me then. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe if you want to see more. Let's talk in the comments. Let me know how your reading rush is going, if you are ready for Day 7 or if you're as unprepared for Day 7 as I am, considering I've only read 3 books so far and may just read a 4th. We'll see. Talk to you tomorrow. Until then, happy reading. Bye.